Welcome everyone to ZenAcademy's Mentorship channel. This is the first episode, and the whole idea of this channel is to have ZenAcademy members pitch their projects, and I'll offer some feedback and ask some questions and answer some questions. Christina is here as well, community member to assist and ask some questions. And I think this will be a great way to help community members as well as just anyone who might be interested in launching a project and hearing some of the advice I might give to a project founder. I'm Zeneca, and I am in. Presumably, you have a bit of understanding about what I've done in this space, but I've advised a lot of projects, and I'll say over 100 at this point between the 333 Club and just advisory roles. So I see a lot of pitches, and like literally today, I think I saw 4 different pitches, and yeah. So I hope I'll be able to offer something of value. I'm gonna pass over to Christina. If you could just quickly intro yourself, and then we'll get Trisha.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. My name is Christina. I'm the founder of Supernatural's NFT. My background is in commercial roles such as operations, marketing, entrepreneurship. In 2020, I joined a startup incubator and learned how to build a business directly from investors. And I'm really happy to be today here at ZenAcademy in mentorship with Tricia from Guava Girls. Hi, Tricia.
Hi, such an honor to be here. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you for being here. It would be great if you could give a quick intro of yourself, and then we'll get straight into the pitch.
Yeah, so I'm one of the 2 co-founders for Guava Girls. I'm a mama of 2. My background's in computer engineering, but I've been doing project delivery for the past 10 years. So moving on to a Web3 career now. I left my corporate job to really pursue this. So really excited to show off our work.
Amazing. I think this saying, it's been around for a while, but people leave their 9-to-5 jobs to work 24/7 in Web3. I think it's so true, but it really is a labor of love. All right, let's maybe jump into the pitch, and I'll let you take it away. You have a pitch deck, and we'll go through that, but you have the floor.
So here's our pitch. Let's be real. Web3 can be a pretty stressful place. It's on 24/7. There's FOMO, infinite regret, and so many scams. So as if our in real lives aren't stressful enough, well, Deloitte did a survey and found that 64% of professionals are pretty stressed out. Now stack on everything else we're juggling at home, family, duties, and the stressors of Web3 now. It's no wonder we don't have time for ourselves. So like I said, I'm a mom of 2. I want to do things that help me grow and bring me joy. So in January, I was super inspired by how projects like Curious Addies, Meta Angels, and of course ZenAcademy harness the power of community. So I took my decade of project delivery experience to create my dream job. And this is building a safe space for people to relax, connect, and grow. And that's exactly our mission at Guava Girls, to support people in their journeys to achieve a sense of balance in their lives through community and opportunities afforded by Web3. We want Guava Girls to be a retreat, a safe space where we can grow and work together to be our best selves. So you've heard of play to earn, learn to earn. Our value prop is care to earn. We create opportunities for people to demonstrate care for themselves, care for others in our community, and in turn, we reward them. So breaking this down, every weekday, we offer simple activities where community members can pop in whatever time suits them the best. And these activities often are about self-reflection, like gratitude sharing, daily check-ins, or self-discovery through creative means like drawing or poetry. And sometimes we offer activities more about building authentic connections within the community, like sharing challenges or working together on solutions and celebrating each other's successes. So through this, we've gathered a bunch of like-minded individuals, parents, entrepreneurs, and artists, and created the safe space for them to really connect with another and grow themselves. So in pre-mint, these kind of activities were exactly how we granted our allow list spots. So today, post-mint, we just minted a month ago, we just launched an off-chain utility token that can be earned in the same way. So Guava is now earned through passively holding a Guava Girl, as well as showing self-care, so care for yourself, as well as for the community. So we're creating a rewards marketplace called our Fruit Stand, where people can redeem this guava for rewards of their choice. So we plan to fill this fruit stand with perks that support wellness and balance, like in real life brand products, subscriptions to different services, merch, and of course their favorite NFT and allow list spots, and a really ear to ground to the community to really understand what suits them best, what brings most value to them. Finally, I need to talk about the amazing artwork of my co-founder, Artie Guava. Her beautiful signature style was actually born out of the feeling of isolation. She immigrated from Canada to Canada from Singapore at the start of the pandemic, so she really felt alone and stranded and needed to focus on what brought her joy and peace, and this was what came out of it. I saw her mural on the side of a building in Vancouver, and once I heard her story, I knew I wanted to take this venture on with her. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here with us today, but she's just incredible, and this imagery is the center of what we're building at Guava Girls. It's truly a brand. The Guava Girl is symbolic of each one of us, a master of balance, multi-layered, multifaceted, unique in their interests and inspirations, and we've taken inspirations from our own community. So this Guava Girl is not an ideal we strive for, but she's a reminder of who we already are.
Amazing. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. I got reactions. I think it's beautiful more than anything. That's the word that comes to mind. I think it's I love the ethos, values, and mission that you're sort of striving for. I think it's very much, like you said, aligned with projects that I already love. Curiosity's Meta Angels, something we strive for in ZenAcademy, and there are many more projects out there. Sort of, actually, just getting back to the beginning, you mentioned burnout, and like literally a minute before that, I said, people leave their 9 to 5s to work 24/7. So that was perfectly lined up. It's so true, and it's so important to sort of take some time out for yourself. So I think holistically, the mission and values, I think, are amazing. The art is very it's beautiful, it's special, it's different is something I think is really important about it. I think having art that looks all the same is a problem that a lot of projects have, and then people, they just blur, and it's like, oh, it's just another animate cat PFP project, and then there's like 1,000 of those. So I always like when a project does something differently. I'd be curious to know what the collection size is, what the mint price was. Maybe those two details.
Yeah, that's a great question. So doing things differently is what we want to do, and we took that approach when we decided on the mint price and mint size. This is a different time that we're working in from when we started talking about this in January. So we decided on a mint, a collection size, a full collection size of 5,000. But it's important to us to grow our collection as our community grows. We wanted to do it very organically. So we're releasing it in phases. And we've only released our first 1,000 as our first phase. So this collection, the pre-sale price was 0.06 and currently in public sale is 0.07.
Amazing. Yeah. No, I really like the idea of releasing it in waves. I think I actually tweeted, I think it was like December last year, how everyone was dropping 10K at once. It would be nice to see people drop like 200 a month or whatever it is, and 1,000 every now and then. And I think that's a really cool approach. Yeah, Christina, any questions jumping out to you at the moment?
I would actually like to congratulate Trisha. That was an amazing pitch. The way you framed the problem and you backed it by data, from Deloitte survey, really, really good. I think it's not said enough. When you're pitching a problem and a solution, and how important the communication is, how clear that communication should be, and you did a great job. I really congratulate you for that.
Yeah, I feel remiss for not saying that as well, but that is honestly, it was a great pitch. And like I said, I get pitched a lot sometimes, and it happened today. There was a pitch where it was just slides full of text and then reading the text. And while it's great to get all that comprehensive detail, I think this format is a lot more, it's easier to, if you can communicate the everything in the project in like a few minutes and a few slides, I think that's a skill that everyone should, especially a project founder, should be able to do. And yeah, that was awesome.
It took a lot of revision. It was difficult to condense everything down, but to that 3 minutes it was an interesting experience and activity to do.
Helps you focus.
Yes, it does. Focus on what's important.
Yeah, exactly. I'm curious, are there any other projects that have a similar mission as Guava Girls?
I hear a lot of similar type of things thrown around, but I think the approach we're taking is a bit different, and really looking at rewarding behavior and encouraging it in a different way. I think that we're the first group that I've seen do that. Balance specifically, I think, just resonates through everything we do, whether it's the artwork, the activities, the way we're using the merch and sorry, the rewards marketplace, it's something that really is the backbone of everything, that balance. And as I've said, there's a lot of projects that have similar health, wellness, mindfulness approaches, but I think we've stayed very consistent and true from the beginning, and that's we're never straying from.
Thank you.
I'd be curious to know what your longer term plans are, like 6 to 12 months, and then maybe a few years. Where do you see this growing into this brand now that you've created?
Yeah, already we're starting to look at different partnerships and opportunities. Our artist and co-founder Artie Guava already has some links to some in real life brands, so leveraging those and taking this because of the rewards marketplace. This has brought us to an interesting area where we want to foster these relationships with brands. And there's an opportunity now to help bring other brands into the Web3 space. So we could be an interesting partnership to support the growth of other non Web3 companies and grow ourselves and align ourselves with partners that way. Yeah, we don't want to just be another pretty PFP. That's our intention. We want to do more than that. And community is also at the heart of it. So this is something that we want to continue doing, finding ways to better support people, their growth, whether that's mentorship, whether that's creating opportunities for them to expand their businesses, brands, as entrepreneurs or as parents, find different ways to support their growth, education, and like I was mentioning, the rewards marketplace. Different brands that we're considering are, yoga apps or food prep services. So I think that there's no end to it, and it really depends. That the Web3 space, we're just so early into it. The technology is just ever evolving, so we want to be adaptable, and whatever comes our way, we want to be able to bring that in and embrace it and grow as the technology grows.
I love it. It sounds like the no roadmap approach, but like, no, you have a clear vision and ideas of what you want to do, but you're not saying bam, 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 in 3 months we're going to do this, in 6 months we're going to do this. And being adaptable, I think, is such an underrated feature of this space. So that's really cool.
Constantly got a list of things, our dream ideas.
Yeah.
And so that just continues growing and growing. And when we're ready, we just pull off the next thing that we think is most priority based on the importance to the community, what will benefit them the most. And yeah, I just want to see a healthy and vibrant community, and that comes back to my ask to you. I'd love to hear your feedback on how we can maintain that healthy and vibrant community and continue growing so that we can continue supporting more people.
Growing and fostering community is one of the most important things in this space, and I think almost every project tries to do it and wants to do it. And I think it's hard because we live in an attention economy, and people's attention spans are the size of peanuts, for starters, these days. We live in the TikTok generation. And secondly, it's being dragged in 1,000 different directions, especially in this space, because you're in multiple, like dozens of Discords, hundreds for some people. You have NFTs from so many projects. It's hard to get people, like as a project founder, to get people into your Discord, to spend time in your Discord, to chat, to participate. Honestly, it's something we struggle with at ZenAcademy. I think every project basically thinks about and deals with it and notices when, engagement seems down and low. Is it just the bear market, or are we doing something wrong? How can we better serve our community? And I think that, there's no silver bullet or easy answer. I think it comes down to, first and foremost, I think staying true to yourself and your vision and mission, and something that a lot of projects do, and again, ourself included, is change to try and cater to the rest of the community and think and do things that you think will help, but you're not really staying true to yourself. So, for example, with ZenAcademy, in early parts of this year, January, February, I sort of saw what other projects and communities were doing, and I kind of felt like maybe the engagement was a bit low in ZenAcademy. So then I just started to emulate, grab and bits and pieces. Like other projects had an alpha server where they had bots set up, and people would come in and use these bots to trade, and it's like, oh, maybe I got to hire someone to create a bot for us. And then other servers had channels and channels and channels of different projects, and I was like, oh, we got to have a channel for every project. And then other servers were doing mint list giveaways all the time, and I was like, all right, we're gonna do lots. And so I just got caught up in the, I forgot, like I lost that sight of what made ZenAcademy special and what made us special and what attracted people in the first place. So I think I'm not saying that you're doing this, but I think that that's a thing that a lot of people, a trap people fall into, where they look at other projects and be like, hey, we should do that and that and that. And you can get inspiration from other projects, and that's great. But as long as you stay true to yourself, I think that's the most important part, and your community will feel that as well. And that sort of, I guess, brings me to the next thing, which is basically one-on-one interaction. And there's no substitute for like your presence and the presence of the team and other community members, just like building those relationships. And I think it really does come down to like one by one, you sort of build up that strong connection to the community, to the people in the community, to the brand. And if you can sort of make people feel special, make them feel welcome, make them feel belonging, I think belonging is a big part. They'll keep coming back and they'll remember it, and then it'll become one of their hubs or home bases that they check the Discord every single day. And it takes time. Like there's no shortcuts, and projects can blow up their Discord, and happens all the time with some big announcement or with hype or suspense, but it's almost always fleeting, and then they deal with a whole host of other problems. So I think that just a slow and steady methodical approach, which kind of sounds like you're taking, is the best one. Yeah, those are some thoughts on community. I'd be curious if you have any specific questions regarding like things that you might be doing or are thinking you're doing that you want thoughts on.
Yeah, this phased approach, I don't actually know any other projects have done that before, in terms of launching. So we're just trying different things now.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot about using bounties as a way to grow communities and stuff like that. I don't love the idea of that, but or like incentives, right? To encourage minting. I want to take a different, try. We see a lot of allow list spots for pre-mint, but we haven't seen many kind of incentives to like partnerships and collaborations where we grow new community after post mint for the same collection. So that's something I want to try playing around with.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if you've seen anything like this, or you have any feedback on this approach.
Yeah, it's an interesting and a tricky thing for a lot of projects. Maybe just for context, I of the first 1,000, how many are minted? And where are you at on that journey?
We're currently at 600.
Okay,
just over 600.
So there's almost like not almost, there is a stigma against projects who launch and then they like don't mint out immediately, and it sucks because it's the projects that mint out are the ones that are hyped, and then often based on not a lot, and it's the really, to my mind, like the real projects, the solid ones that have struggles minting out because people I don't know, this space sort of wants that hype and FOMO and all that kind of stuff, for better or worse. But there's been plenty of examples of projects that have had a slower mint out process and really thrived. And so I think that it's always nice to know that and I think the stigma is kind of starting to change now, where you see projects that take a while to mint out, and then all of a sudden, bam, one thing happens, and things the snowball starts to go, or the community builds, over many, many months, one by one, such a strong sense of support that, I know communities who have, a couple of thousand NFTs minted, and then, the floor price isn't explosive and people haven't gone crazy, but there's like 12 listed out of 3,000, because the people who have it, they're like, I love this community, I'm happy to be a part of it, and it just hasn't garnered that widespread attention. There are a couple of other projects I think that have done this slow or like batch approach. One that comes to mind is Society of the Hourglass, and I think it's a really nice project. I really like it. I think that they probably are also dealing with a lot of the same things about how to get more attention after that whole pre-mint phase. Again, there's no, to my mind, easy, like the whole mint list giveaway thing. It's a nice way to get attention and buzz and hype around that mint event. But then after that, it's like, how do you regenerate that or do that again? Partnering with other projects and just getting exposure to your project via traditional avenue like Twitter Spaces and stuff like that is great. But it's that slow and organic approach. I don't think you're going to get that bam big hit necessarily that's gonna blow things up. I'm not.
I'm not
Yeah,
looking for a
yeah,
big hit necessarily. I do like that growing slowly
yeah.
part. And one thing we've done is, these activities are open to really anyone who wants to participate, right?
Mm,
It's not just for members or holders. So, um, yeah, we want to bring more people and onboard people into the space who are new to Web3. And I think as the market, well, because of the low exchange, it makes it easier to get into
this is
crypto
true.
too.
This is true.
So, yeah, offering credit card
I saw that
minting and stuff
actually.
like that
Yeah,
are
you can mint
are
via
different ways
credit
that
card.
we're trying to different approaches we're trying as well.
Yeah, actually, that really brings up a great point. I think that maybe that's an area that you can lean into even more, sort of the onboarding, because I think a lot of people in the space. I mean, we all sort of understand the importance of onboarding new people to the space, and how important that is for the growth of the space, longevity, and doing it the right way. And a lot of the time, people struggle to maybe recommend which projects that people should onboard their friends and family into. And I think that you can lean into that marketing piece because you have that credit card payment option, and you can, I think, really reach and target that audience a little more. And it sounds like a wonderful community because for a newcomer, because it's not based on hype, FOMO, and all that kind of stuff. It's really based on something really holistic. So I think a lot of people can get behind that. And as an extension of that, I would look to sort of market and promote in the non-traditional Web3 avenues. So like Twitter and Discord is great, and like partnerships with other NFT communities is great, but you're sort of in this little echo chamber talking to everyone that's in the space. And there's like millions, billions of people out there, and they're slowly coming around to NFTs bit by bit. And I think I'd think about how you can reach them and make it approachable to them and give them this on ramp into NFTs. And so YouTube is a great way to do that. Facebook groups is a great way to do that, person to person, in real life events and stuff like that. I think
Yeah.
all of those things is where I would probably be spending more of my time, really just trying to position yourself as this on ramp for newcomers, as well as like a home base for people who want to find calm. Yeah.
Yeah, recently I've seen also LinkedIn.
Right. Yeah. I
Have
joined
started
there and
posting.
then
So
it
yeah,
went
that's
crazy.
a good thing. Yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna start trying that as well.
Yeah. Christina, do you have any thoughts or questions you want to add?
I just wanted to add the LinkedIn part, but Trisha just said it. And I saw they also have a feature about something like Twitter Spaces, I think. So maybe you can just create events on LinkedIn and you have working moms there, maybe yoga studios. Really, you have to map where your customers are spending time, usually your ideal customer.
Yeah, LinkedIn is a big one. It's sort of seen as like the boomer social media, or it has been for a while, but I think that there's recently been a real surge. I mean, all like people like the Web2, not, it's just not Web3 native. But like I said, I joined a couple of months ago, and
That's the point, though.
exactly, that's who you want to reach. And there's now this booming sort of, well, not booming, but like there are more people into NFTs there, and uh, more people are just becoming aware of it, and the level of knowledge is so much lower than Twitter that it really is ripe for sort of onboarding. And there's a lot of curiosity, I think. So if you can sort of tap into that market, I think that would be a really powerful way to grow as well. Yeah.
No, thanks for the feedback.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Like I said, I genuinely love the project and the mission and the values of it. It's really, it's what I think what this space is all about, and it's the type of project that I'm extremely happy to support. So I think that yeah, let's keep chatting and then see what we can do. But yeah, thank you so much for
Yeah,
coming on.
I sat in on your gratitude space yesterday on Twitter, and yeah, just I think there's so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so much there, and I love that you're very supportive of this as well.
I think that there's a lot of people out there who want stuff like this and don't really like the traditional PFP projects or the really the money aspect to this space. And that's something that I've been thinking a lot more about lately, is that so many, it comes back to the onboarding thing, where over the last 12 to 18 months, when onboarding has been a thing, most people's first impression of NFTs and crypto has been like very financial and money and aggressive. And, that's just not interesting for the vast majority of humans, especially when you add like the high risk element. Most people aren't risk takers. So, yeah, I think there's enormous room and capacity for projects who try and eliminate the money element, or like minimize it and focus on bigger and other things, and like the tech and the community and all sorts of stuff like that. So
Yeah, I think we're on the right direction. I just love our community so much because yeah, they're just so engaged and active and just supportive of one another. Like the most telling part was during the mint, during all the Lao list wallet collection and everything. Everyone was very supportive and celebrating one another for these small steps that they were taking, these little
that's great.
milestones. So that's just the perfect, yeah, that's the perfect way to um, to see that because yeah, there's so many projects I've been in mints, and it's there's so much
Oh
negativity
yeah.
that's in the space. So just to see that celebration was just heartwarming.
That keeps you going. That's amazing.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I think, like you said, that a lot of projects there's a lot of negativity or FUD or animosity, and when you find people that band together and support one another, it's heartwarming. So I'm glad that
Yeah.
you found that.
Thank you so much for the opportunity again, and yeah, look forward to talking again soon.
Thank you so much for coming on and being our first guest, I would say, on ZenAcademy's mentorships. Yay! And a big thanks to Christina for organizing and
Yes.
going through this whole process and
Thank
like
you.
finding the people. And we'll be doing more of these. And all right, thank you everyone, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you.